Breaking news as we come on air. Former Vice President Joe Biden taking the lead in Georgia and Pennsylvania. Thanks for joining us. I'm Sean Mickey.
And I'm Jaron Holmes.
Within the hour, Democrat Joe Biden is on the verge of the presidency. According to CNN and other news outlets, Biden takes the lead over President Donald Trump in the vote count in Pennsylvania and Georgia. This closes in on a presidency that hinges on the outcome of tight contests in key battleground states. Winning both states gives Biden the electoral votes at 289. He needed 270 electoral votes to win. President Donald Trump has already indicated several legal actions will be taken in key battleground states like Michigan, Arizona, and Nevada.
It's going to end up perhaps at the highest court in the land. We'll see. But we think there'll be a lot of litigation because we can't have an election stolen like this.
We have no doubt that when the count is finished, Senator Harris and I will be declared the winners. So I ask everyone to stay calm, all the people to stay calm. The process is working. The count is being completed, and we'll know very soon.
Again, CNN is not projecting Biden as the winner of Pennsylvania or Georgia, but several sources tell CNN that this process is far from over. Stay with Sbu-Tv for updates.
This year's historic election is creating a lot of buzz on campus among students and faculty. More from Sbu-TV's Sean Maines.
I knew that it would be close. I didn't expect the razor-thin margins that we're seeing.
The youth of America took the polls by storm this 2020 election with record highs of young voters. But what was the general reaction to the presidential election on campus? I spoke to students Megan Hall and Dylan Conahan on their opinions of the election so far.
It's an election unlike anything that we've ever seen before. Even thinking back to 2016, we didn't see anything like this. And a lot of that is because of mail-in ballots and also early voting.
Kind of a crazy process, a little bit unprecedented in United States history with everything going on with the coronavirus.
Conahan emphasized his beliefs on how imperative it is that all votes are counted.
The importance of this election, I think it's important that we go through the entire process to make sure that everything's confirmed.
Hall and Conahan shared their thoughts on the divide between political parties in this election.
Very serious, not only online disagreements, but like in-person, real-time disagreements, and that's kind of a freaky thing.
Most of the states now are not even swing states. They're kind of either all red or all blue. Now it's coming down to a few states to determine this year's election, which is, it kind of says a lot about where we are, and it tells us where we need to go in our future.
For Sbu-TV, I'm Sean Maines.
Now let's talk local election results from Tuesday. Republican Tom Reed won the 23rd U.S. Congressional District race, defeating a familiar opponent, former Cornell professor Tracy Matrano. Reed won 63% to 35%, running on a platform of bipartisanship. He's on the Problem Solvers Caucus. The 23rd District covers 11 counties here in western New York. Going to the 57th District State Senate race, George Borrello won re-election to New York State Senate's 57th District against London Town Clerk Frank Puglisi. The district covers Allegheny, Cattaraugus, and Chautauqua County. Borrello received nearly 75% of the vote. He first came into office last year. As for the race for the first ward in Olean, Lawrence Binion defeated former Olean Mayor Linda Witt, 52% to 47%. We contacted Witt's office but never heard back. However, Binion did respond to our requests, and he told us his main goal is to keep businesses open during the COVID-19 pandemic. As for uncontested races, 2 aldermen in Olean ran without an opponent. The 3rd Ward Alderman Paul Gonzalez and 5th Ward Alderman John Crawford.
Cattaraugus County saw a record turnout for the 2020 election. New numbers show the county tallied over 34,000 votes, representing over 73% of registered voters. Now that number will go up as absentee ballots are returned to the Board of Elections. The board is expecting to receive back over 5,000 requested ballots. Only ballots postmarked by November 3rd and received by November 10th will be added to the tally. And now more numbers into the newsroom this morning. They show COVID cases are continuing to rise in Cattaraugus County. 112 cases are active, while 19 people have died from the virus. Over 500 confirmed cases have been reported since the beginning of the pandemic, according to the Department of Health. Here on campus, St. Bonaventure is reporting 5 active cases, while the total cases reported climbs to 24 since August.
This week, The St. Bonaventure community began questioning the reported COVID-19 cases on campus and the accuracy of the number count. The so-called rumor mill has students, staff, and faculty questioning the transparency of the university. I talked with students and the administration to set the record straight.
I will absolutely defend our transparency.
Rumors about COVID-19 potentially shutting down St. Bonaventure spread among the student body, faculty, and staff on the amount of active COVID-19 cases reported and amount of students living in quarantine. University official Tom Missel defended the school.
When the state mandated they had to do a tracker, and a very detailed tracker, we decided the best thing to do to stay up to date, to make the information fresh every day, was to post a simple tracker on our COVID updates page and tie that to the state tracker.
24 confirmed cases of COVID-19 so far this semester on campus. With the recent spike in COVID-19 cases in the county, Missel said now we run the risk of our students just simply going to Walmart or going into town.
After talking with St. Bonaventure's administration, I wanted to bring you a more balanced story. So I got students' opinions. Right now, I'm outside of Dev Hall, where many Bonaventure students live. I talked to those students to ask them how they feel about the administration and the transparency.
I think the campus has done a good job making sure it's a priority, but I do find it unrealistic the few amount of cases we've had on campus.
Heard of the rumors from a couple of different people. As for believing them, I could definitely see them being true, but I haven't seen any evidence myself directly, so I'm a little unsure.
When I spoke to St. Bonaventure Student Government President Ethan Pryor, he assured the students and the 90% of faculty on campus they will be safe and that quarantine is just a safety precaution.
The university has been diligent about, if there's a risk, putting students in quarantine early just to be safe.
Reporting for Sbu-Tv, I'm Jaron Holmes. We checked this morning again. A total of 5 active cases reported on campus right now, and a total of 52 are in quarantine right now.
With the rise in coronavirus cases on the campus and in the community, St. Bonaventure announced they're making some changes to their dining hall. The Hickey Dining Hall is now set up to encourage more social distancing. The university pushed tables together to increase the distance students will be from one another. The decision made late last week, as St. Bonaventure hopes these extra precautions will provide the opportunity for in-person classes to continue up to Thanksgiving break.
COVID-19 cases continue to spike throughout the country. Last Saturday, New York State Governor Andrew Cuomo threw away the travel quarantine list and implemented a new COVID-19 travel policy in response to rising numbers and the approaching holiday season. Our own Michaela Hyman, live in studio, found out more.
Good morning. According to Cattaraugus County Health Department, currently no rapid tests available in the county. For those traveling to the county, this policy may impact your plans. According to Cuomo, within 3 days of traveling into New York State, you are required to be tested for COVID-19. Upon a negative result, you are permitted to travel. New York State requires a 3-day quarantine. On day 4, another test required. You are permitted to leave quarantine and go about your business if that second test is negative. So what does this look like? On the screen behind me, I have the November 2020 calendar. If you're traveling for Thanksgiving, let me break down what this schedule may look like.
She's muted.
Testing before traveling to New York State, you must happen between the 13th and the 15th. You are permitted to travel on the 16th. You can quarantine for 3 days. From November 17th to the 19th, you are meant to be in mandatory quarantine. On day 4 of quarantine, November 22nd, another test required. Only PCR tests available in the county. According to the Cattaraugus County Health Department, it takes 3 to 5 days for a result to come in. You will receive your results by November 24th, so you can celebrate with your friends and family on November 26th. According to Governor Cuomo, the responsibility to enforce this new policy falls on the County Health Department. I spoke with Dr. Kevin Watkins, Director of the Cattaraugus County Health Department, for his plans on enforcement.
At this point, we are basing it on honor code. If by chance a person violates a mandatory quarantine order that has been issued by myself, then they are subject to a civil penalty of up to $10,000, or we can have them in prison for up to 15 days.
We asked Watkins about testing resources for the county.
If you're looking to get out of quarantine the next day after your fourth day of being in New York State or being in Cattaraugus County, you might be out of luck for that.
PCR tests only available, however, out-of-pocket costs necessary for both residents and visitors. Those with insurance may face a $20 copay. The county currently awaiting more rapid tests from New York State. Back to you, Jaron.
Look at your screens right now. We want you to follow Sbu-Tv on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Let's us bring you all news new, now, and next.
And after the break, veterans helping veterans during the pandemic. Later, FDA considering new Alzheimer's drugs. We'll be right back.
I think it's just vapor with flavor.
It won't hurt my kid like cigarettes, right?
Vaping is safer than smoking, isn't it?
There's really not even that much nicotine in them, right?
My kid?
My kid knows it's dangerous.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping, maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
I feel like her heartbeat is like same speed as mine. And I think we have this like deep connection, this heart connection in her heart, that there's room for me and mom. When I'm holding her, it makes me feel calmer. It's a sensory thing. It's a thing with Asperger's.
She's really good with Anya. I've seen adults react to my daughter when she has meltdowns like she's from a different planet. And this little animal just sat next to my child and was just like, you know, it's gonna be cool. She's my superhero.
Good job, Kitty Cat.
When we adopted Lucky, we discovered all the wonderful things that make her unique.
Lucky's a little bit of a lot of things, but mostly she's pure love.
What's the best way to pick the right college? Use your head and make a practical choice based on cost and academics? Or follow your heart to a place that just feels right? At St. Bonaventure, you can do both. Here, you'll join a unique community that celebrates individuality, meet professors as passionate about people as they are about learning, and form lifelong connections without a lifetime of debt. Come see for yourself why St. Bonaventure isn't just a special place, it's a smart choice.
Do it for your roommates. Do it for your teachers. Do it for your crush. When it comes to wearing a mask, staying 6 feet apart, and avoiding large gatherings, do it for everyone in your life. Together, we can keep COVID-19 out of school.
Attention Bonaventure students. You may have some issues if you're planning to binge watch your favorite Netflix show tonight or work on some homework. According to the university, wireless internet will be down starting at 9 p.m. tonight for emergency maintenance. All repairs are expected to be complete, however, by midnight.
Veterans helping veterans out. Sbu-TV's Zachary Murphy learned how veterans supported each other during the pandemic.
Put people's mind at ease, you know, and we thought that we could just give bills out to all veterans, you know.
Nestled in the Raleigh Center is the St. Bonaventure Veterans Center. The Veterans Center is part of Veterans Services, the main program on campus dedicated to helping veterans transition into becoming students. I talked with the director of Veterans Services about what they are doing for their students and for the community. This is Frank Morales. He served 20 years in armed services, and he is the director of Veterans Services at St. Bonaventure.
Since I've been here, I've always helped veterans with any needs they may have, whether it's finding any resources for them, whether it's mental health or benefits.
Frank formed a support group for veterans, but then the pandemic hit.
You know, that kind of shut down really quick. So we kind of thought about what are we going to do now to help our veterans out, you know, and especially the older ones.
Veterans Services teamed up with the Dwyer Project to deliver food. In 2.5 months, they delivered nearly 125 meals a day to veterans, and they fed over 1,400 people. To student veteran Chris Pavilion, the program is a result of all their shared backgrounds.
So they took it upon themselves to really get this program up because the military is a preventative action is what we really stand for.
I'm Zachary Murphy with Sbu-Tv.
Are you interested in lending a helping hand to veterans? Reach out to Veterans Services or the Dwyer Project.
Police are urging caution as a phone scam is targeting the Olean community. The Olean Police Department discovered the scam involving residents receiving a summons. The call goes on to say that if you don't make a payment, a warrant will be issued for your arrest. If you get a call from a blocked number, please do not give any personal information away, pay any money, or just don't pick up the phone. Remember, police agencies and court systems do not notify individuals about a warrant by requesting money.
Coming up, Congress gains diversity following election, and an update on Lax Stash Madness. Later, live sports segment in studio. You do not want to miss this.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
Because the fight isn't over yet.
You will see me choose to protect my community by wearing a face cover.
And even with my face covered,
you will see me. As a son, as a man with a never quit attitude,
as a fighter for change.
Join me in wearing a face cover
to help stop the spread of the coronavirus.
Because this is one small act of kindness
that has the power to make a big difference.
Roll over. Chance high five. All right. When you adopt a shelter pet, you discover all the things that make them unique. And your mother and... I am totally a hot person. Right, guys? Thanks for being honest. They're a little bit of a lot of things, but they're all pure love. Adopt pure love at theshelterpetproject.org.
The census is when we count every person in each home in every neighborhood.
Do kids count?
We all count, especially kids and babies. Make
your family count.
Count all the kids living in your home. Visit 2020census.com.
If you need to do something to feel okay to drive, you're not okay to drive. Don't drive buzzed.
I work out every day. COVID won't kill me.
I'm 24. COVID won't kill me.
I have antibodies. COVID won't kill me.
It's been a long week. COVID won't kill me.
I'm 25. COVID won't kill me.
I'm partying outside. COVID won't kill me.
I don't need to wear a mask around my friends. COVID won't kill me.
I'm 23. COVID won't kill me.
If I haven't gotten it yet, COVID won't kill me.
I'm young. COVID won't kill me.
Famous last words. Don't let them be yours. Be New York tough and smart. Socially distance. Mask up, America.
As eyes still focus on the presidential election, the 2020 election is already making history. Two gay black Democrats, Richie Torres and Mondaire Jones, won their House district seats in New York. Also joining the history books, Maury Turner became the first non-binary state legislator and Oklahoma's first ever Muslim lawmaker. Congressman-elect Richie Torres had this to say about this historic victory.
It speaks to how far we've come as a society. You know, we are going to have a United States Congress that is every bit as diverse and dynamic as America itself.
He and Jones joined the 7 openly LGBTQ members of Congress.
The U.S. Food and Drug Administration will soon consider whether to approve a new Alzheimer's drug. The agency's Peripheral and Central Nervous System Drugs Advisory Committee will meet Friday and discuss an experimental treatment for early Alzheimer's. The first new Alzheimer's drug in almost 2 decades. The committee expected to decide whether to recommend the drug for FDA approval. The Alzheimer's Association supports its approval.
The judge in the George Floyd case announced several decisions on Thursday. Judge Peter Cahill ruled the trial against the 4 police officers charged in Floyd's death will proceed in Hennepin County, Minnesota. The ruling is a blow to the defense, which requested a change of venue. Judge Cahill approved the state's request for officers Derek Chauvin, Thomas Lane, and Jay Kuang, and Tao Thao to be tried together. Chauvin was seen in videos kneeling on Floyd's neck for almost 9 minutes on May 25th, while Floyd told the officers he couldn't breathe.
Chauvin is charged with second-degree unintentional murder and second-degree manslaughter in Floyd's death. The others are each charged with aiding and abetting second-degree murder or manslaughter. The judge also ruled that cameras will be allowed inside courtroom, and the jurors in the case will be anonymous and partially sequestered. The trial has been set for March 8th. Tropical depression ETA, which continues its route to the U.S., is still a threat in Central America. The system continues to bring torrential rains causing heavy flooding. Honduras, Guatemala, and Belize could see nearly 30 inches of rain. Other nearby countries could see 20 inches or more. ETA made landfall Tuesday on the Nicaraguan coast as a Category 4 hurricane. At least one person has died in Honduras and 4 in Guatemala due to the storm.
Again, on your screens now are Sbu-Tv's social media accounts on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Let us keep you updated on all election results, COVID-19 numbers, and news around the world.
As promised last week, our men's lacrosse team still ranked #1 out of the 124 teams participating in Last Stash Madness. As of today, over $19,000 raised by the team for Headstrong, a foundation designed to help those affected by cancer. On your screens, members of the team show off their growing stashes.
And more to come still after the break. Sbu-TV Sports' Tommy Valentine is live in the studio for the first time. He'll be taking us through a preview of the women's basketball season and how the NCAA is helping student athletes make it to the polls. Sbu-TV will be back right after this.
The census, a special time when we count every person in each home in every neighborhood.
Do kids count?
Of course. Counting everyone in your home helps support your neighborhood by funding things like schools, hospitals, and buses. Complete the census by calling or going online, or return your form by mail.
It's easy, secure, and most important, it's totally private.
Make your family count!
This year, make sure every child counts. Visit 2020census.gov.
What's the best way to pick the right college? Use your head and make a practical choice based on cost and academics? Or follow your heart to a place that just feels right? At St. Bonaventure, you can do both. Here, you'll join a unique community that celebrates individuality, meet professors as passionate about people as they are about learning, and form lifelong connections without a lifetime of debt. Come see for yourself why St. Bonaventure isn't just a special place, it's a smart choice.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Talk to your kid about vaping. Visit talkaboutvaping.org.
Thank you for sticking with us this morning. Now we are sending you to Tommy Valentine with our first live in-studio sports segment. Tommy, passing it to you.
Thanks, Jaron. So great to be bringing Sbu-TV Sports live to the studio. And with the start of the college basketball season less than 3 weeks away, there's no better way to kick off our first live sports segment than with some Bonnie's Hoops. Media day for the women's basketball team is Monday, but our Grace Foley caught up with a few members of the team prior to Monday's festivities to get a look at what Bonnie's fans can expect from the team this year.
Depth and experience, key components of head coach Jesse Fleming's team in 2020. Coming off a 7-23 season that saw a number of close finishes fall to the loss column, Fleming knows all too well the areas his team needs to improve.
We shot the free throws great. We got to get to the line more. And then it all comes back to just our defensive numbers were just subpar. And so we need to continue to shoot the ball well and share it and knock those free throws down.
While veterans like leading returning scorer Ajahnay Johnson and seniored forward Emily Calabrese will be an integral part of the team's success, there are some fresh faces on the roster expected to make an instant impact.
We have really good new additions this year that I think will help our team out a lot. They've actually picked up a lot of things really quickly than normal freshmen would or normal transfers would.
Tori Harris headlines a talented class of transfers for the Bonnies. I asked Coach Fleming what her role would be on the team, and his answer was simple. Score the basketball.
She's going to be the one that's going to be the shot maker for us. Tori knows that we're going to run stuff for her. She's got the size. She's got the release. She's good enough when they rush at to put it on the floor and be able to make a play.
Of course, there's still a lot of uncertainty surrounding the basketball season, but that's not stopping the Bonnies from enjoying any time they get together on the court.
There's just more of an appreciation and joy just to be practicing. I think it had become such a year-round thing, Division I athletics, that you take it for granted.
Still no official schedule for the team, and the A10 preseason poll is expected to be dropped Monday. For Sbu-Tv Sports, I'm Grace Foley. New, now, next.
Out in history, the NCAA did their part to ensure student athletes had an opportunity to make their way to the polls. With a schedule as rigorous as that of a student athlete, having the chance to make their voices heard this election day was a top priority for the NCAA. The Division I Council approved a bill prohibiting all athletic activities the first Tuesday after November 1st each year, giving St. Bonaventure softball player Allie Haskell peace of mind that she'd have time to go out and perform her civic duty.
It gave me a time period where I could go, so that worked out well. And I think our coach would have been very understanding, but I think it would have made it a lot more difficult to go and to not want to miss practice. So I think it's important for everybody and all the student athletes and all students to go out and vote.
The bill also creates time for student athletes to participate in community service, all part of the NCAA's hopes to increase civic engagement. Nothing like a little Wednesday night MACtion to close things out. The MAC Conference opened up their 2020 football season with a 6-game slate Wednesday night. The University of Buffalo kicked off their conference-only regular season schedule with Northern Illinois. Junior running back Jared Patterson led the way for the Bulls in the first half. This 56-yard scamper, his second rushing touchdown on the night. In the second half, the Bulls defense takes over. A 65-yard pick six from Gaddafi Wright capped off 3 defensive touchdowns for UB in just over 10 minutes. The Bulls cruise to a 49-30 win. And tomorrow will be the busiest day of college football this year. The Pac-12 Conference begins their season, marking the 5th and final Power 5 conference to open up play in 2020. It's time now for Sbu-Tv Sports Trivia as we take it back to the Riley Center. This week's question, a bit of a throwback. Before being named the Riley Center in 1974, what was the arena's original name? The answer, University Center. Ringing in with the first correct answer was Dan from right here in Olean. And in fact, the Bonnies won their final game in the University Center over Little 3 rival Canisius 85-82. That's one's for our guy on the desk, Jaron Holmes. Follow us on social media. Sbu-Tv Sports Trivia returns Tuesday. Back over to you, Jaron and Sean.
Thanks, Tommy. And now for the final time this morning, let's take a peek at your screens for the Sbu-Tv Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter accounts. Curious about something? Why don't you shoot us a message? We want to see more stories, so make sure you follow us. Tell us what information you want to know, and we will work to bring you the answers. Jaron, I know a lot happening today, and we'll be sure to make sure everyone is informed.
Yeah, it was a great show, and I'm glad to be here with you.
Have a nice day, everyone.
Bye.